everybody, it's Lorna and Tracy with the Bay-Tennington Real Estate Group. We're at our fabulous listing at 1650 Victoria Avenue in Lafayette Square, which is a neighborhood within Los Angeles. You've heard us speak about this property before, but we thought we'd give you a little insider view. We are pretending we're entertaining in the in the great room, which is really great.
It's great.
Here's
the great room.
Isn't it great? Okay, and we've got some great historical photos behind us and some beautiful African art. But Tracy, actually, her family has been here in Lafayette Square for decades, and so I thought it might be a good opportunity to just kind of talk about what life is like in Lafayette Square. So Lafayette Square has a very active homeowners association. Dues are voluntary, but suggested. And they do lots of really great stuff kind of annually. Now, we'll just talk about it as though COVID were not a thing, and even though it is. So we're going to pretend like it's not. And so, Tracy, tell us some of the great things you guys do here in Lafayette Square.
Yes. So Lafayette Square, I always refer to it as kind of like a Mayberry. It can be your Mayberry if you want it to be, or you can decide that you don't want to participate in anything and just stay in your home. But
that's a no-berry, right?
That's a no-berry. But once you enter Lafayette Square, you'll see all during the day, especially with COVID happening, and particularly in the evening, you'll see families and people walking through the neighborhood. You see people jogging. You see people walking their dogs. It's a very active neighborhood. In terms of annual events, we have a year-end holiday event that is sponsored by the Neighborhood Association. Mm-hmm. So there's entertainment, fun stuff like that. Food. And singing, carols. There's usually a contest to see which table can out-sing the other. It's just really, that's like fun stuff. There's also a year-end, what do you call it? Used stuff sale.
Oh, I bought some used stuff at that sale.
It's a used stuff sale. And so the used stuff sale is fun because all the neighbors who want to participate pay a small fee to be a part of this very widely advertised event, and you bring all of your things out to your lawn and people come by, and it's a whole day thing, and it's really fun.
I got some great boots last year. I just, one of the things I think is really cool, Lafayette Square is like semi-gated, so there's a way that you can enter with your car on foot, but then the rest of it is mostly gated off. Mm-hmm. So it really lends to being able to have those kind of events that feel kind of just enclosed.
Absolutely, and the median is actually a park.
Okay, don't tell.
So yeah,
I'll be laying out, taking some fun.
Yeah, so we do obtain permits to have events, located in the median, like the block party, which happens every August or September. It's not going to happen this year, but it's another where we have like a silent auction, lots of games for kids, tables, food, everything. It's just like a whole lot of fun. And we do appreciate all of the new neighbors that move in. So each year the hospitality committee puts together a new neighbors welcome. That's at one of the residents' homes. And it's just introducing the neighbors to the neighborhood and other neighbors and celebrating them and appreciating them. So yeah, it's really cool.
Well, speaking of neighbors, not new, but old, aside from the fabulously renowned Paul Williams, who was a fantastic architect in the Los Angeles area, a family actually from Ohio, I believe, who designed all kinds of things like LAX, and I mean, it just goes on and on. He lived in the neighborhood, designed a couple of residences in the neighborhood. What other people of note? Not current, because we don't want to tell anybody's business.
Right.
But, past.
But there are some. Shh.
Don't tell. And there's been a number of movies filmed in the square, even a Laurel and Hardy film, I think, for one of the houses that we sold previously.
Right.
But who else of note lived here previously or visited?
Right. So Robert F. Kennedy's godparents lived in the neighborhood.
Oh, wow. So
he would come and visit, and I believe that his last dinner was at one of the homes in Lafayette Square, the home of his godparents. So he was here. Yeah. Rosa Parks was also somebody who visited the square in her summers.
Yeah, I heard an interesting story about she stored some of her stuff here and had it her own lock on wherever that storage part was.
Right. So she summered here. Who am I forgetting? The famous the well-known attorney whose house that she stayed at. He was famous for defending Angela Davis.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sorry, his name escapes me.
That's
and
okay.
Hopefully I'll
Mr.
remember.
Very Important.
Mr. Very Important.
Esquire.
Right. Those are
Right.
a few of the people that lived in the square.
It's just a beautiful...
Or visited, yeah.
Or visited. It's just a beautiful neighborhood. 8 contiguous blocks, Victoria, Wellington, Virginia. Each of those have 2 blocks, with St. Charles going up the median.
Buckingham is the last block. We
Yeah.
don't want to, I mean, we would really be remiss if we didn't mention the resident who lived here.
Yes.
Which was Leslie and Margaret Ann Shaw. And Leslie Shaw was the first black postmaster general of a major metropolitan city, and he was appointed by JFK. And I think we have a photo.
Can you see past
Can
mine?
we see? There
Very
it is.
large
There
cranium.
it is of him and JFK
Excellent.
in the back. So they were very active also civically as well.
Yeah, it's kind of an amazing place to feel. This house feels very warm, very loved, full of history, as the neighborhood does. There are lots of different architectural styles. It's very much not a cookie cutter, square box kind of neighborhood because it's in a historic preservation overlay zone. So the houses are protected. So you can't tear these down and just put up something that...
Leo Branton is the attorney's name.
Leo Branton Esquire.
Look up Leo Branton. There you go. I knew it would come to me.
She's very, it just, it takes a minute.
It
We're
takes a
over
minute
30 and
sometimes.
sometimes it takes
Right.
a moment. And I think there's another great picture behind my big head, isn't it?
There is.
Mr.
That's
Shaw.
one with, can we see it there? Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Shaw with Martin Luther King Jr.
Which is pretty amazing.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
There is a very rich history in the square, and we're proud of that. And the homes that are showcased
It's
here.
wonderful. That history is also very connected to what is happening today. So much like this house, lots of beautiful, beautiful details that you want to preserve, but also things that you can do to make it feel very much your own.
Yeah.
And we highly recommend 1650 South Victoria. Give us a call at the Bates Hennington Team Real Estate Group. You can find us at experts@bateshennington.com, or you can call Tracy or me. I'm Lorna, 323-356-3675, and Tracy is 310-739-6884. Thank you so much for listening.
Thanks. Bye.